any teacher except on the uh, except on uh, whatever it has been said in the teachings of the Buddha. So Buddha talks about only that whatever you get it from the tradition, you do not accept it, but you have to investigate it. In Mahaparinibbana Sutta also, Buddha talks about that you do not take a thing as it comes to you through the oral tradition or through the you can say hearing Sruta traditions. So Sruta traditions means that which is coming from the parampara, which is coming from the past Hori. So you do not accept the things. So that is why in the Kesmutti Sutta, Buddha teaches about that what are the things which can be taken as a proper teachings of the Buddha. And in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Buddha also says that when he was asked that you wait for some time for the Mahaparinibbana by his close disciple Ananda, then he says, and Ananda also says that who will our teacher after your demise? So you remain for some more time. Then Buddha says that only Sutta and Binay will be your teacher, and nobody any you can say he was not believing in the sattha and something that and he says that you accept the things whatever it after proper investigations whether it comes into the suttas or in the binay, and if it comes under the purview of the sutta pitaka and binay pitaka, then you can accept it. So that is why it has been said, and in case Muttu Sut Kalam, there is a discussion about that how Kalam Sutta has been discussed. So let us discuss in a very detailed manner. So that is why I have sent you the matter in the detail. So first of all, if you see that there is a English translation of the passage, which makes clear that what Buddha says that. So whatever it has been put in the red, if you see that Buddha says that please, O Kalam, do not go by the oral transmission. You do not accept the things from whatever it comes from the oral traditions. Do not go by lineage. Lineage means that is the birth or from any Sakya or any lineage. Do not go by testament. Do not go any, you can say, the sacred text. Do not go by the canonical authority. You do not accept that it has been said in that. Do not rely on logic. Do not rely on inference, that is the anuman, and do not logic means that is the if it is related with the reasoning, and it is also said that do not go by reason contemplations means that whatever you are recollecting about someone and it is related with reasoning, do not accept it. Do not go by the acceptance of the view after consideration. So it says that whatever it has been seen, you do not accept it. And do not go by the appearance of the competence. And do not think the ascetic is our respected teacher. And if someone says that I am your teacher, you have to accept it. Do not accept it. But when you know for yourselves that these things are skillful means those who are which are wholesome or moral things, blameless, that which are any having you can say blame, praised by sensible persons, that which are praiseworthy by the people, and when you undertake them, they lead to welfare and happiness. Then you should acquire them and keep them. And Buddha says that in the suttas and the Vinaya, which are your teacher, you can accept it. So I have given you the translation of the Kesmutti Sutta. So if you see that how Kesmutti Sutta, with the kalamas of the Kesmutti, and it has been translated by Bhikkhu Sujato. So, in the beginning, it has been said that once upon a time, the Buddha was dwelling at Koshala with a large number of bhikkhus who were and in the town of the Kalamas and named Kesmut. The Kalamas of Kesmut heard, and it has been said again that it seems the ascetic Gautama, a Sakya gone forth from a Sakyan family, has arrived at Kesmut. So someone approaches to the people and says that the Blessed One has come and he belongs to the Sakya family and he has good reputations and he is a fully awakened one. So it is good to see such type of perfectly enlightened persons. So then Kalam uh, uh, approaches to the Buddha and before taking salutations, he make a pradakshana and then he exchanges the greetings and then he, in the polite manner, he says that there are some ascetics and Brahmins who comes to Kesmutta and they explain and promote only their own doctrine. And in the Samaya Phala Sutta also, we see that how King Ajatasattu approaches to the Blessed One and he says that there are six contemporary teachers and they are preaching different thoughts and the views and no one is clear about the what is the true doctrine. So let me know about these things in a very detailed manner. So here also, Kesmut also explains to the Buddha that there are so many teachers who are coming and they are explaining about their own doctrine, and but it is not clear. So they talk about only their own ideology or the thoughts, and they disparage the teachings or the doctrine of others. So what if you tell about all these things in a detailed manner that what is the true doctrine? So kindly let us know. Then Buddha says that, O Kalam, it is enough for you to be doubting and uncertain. There is no uncertainty. Doubt has come in you about an uncertain manner. So then Buddha says that do not go by the oral transmission and do not go by the lineage, do not go by any testament or the sacred teachings of the Buddha, or do not go by any canonical authority. There are four types of authorities which have been discussed also in Mahaparinibbana Sutta. They are called as Apadesa, four Apadesas. So here Buddha also says that do not go, rely on logic, do not rely on any inference, do not go by any region contemplation and do not go by the acceptance of the view after considerations and do not go by the appearance of competence and do not think the this ascetic is our respected teacher. So Buddha says that these things are unskillful, they are not wholesome, but they are uh, you can say not moral. They are immoral, you can say, and they are also blameworthy. They are criticized by sensible. So this is the Buddha also says about that. So Buddha says that, oh Kalam, what do you think? So he gives some of the examples that whether the lobe comes up in a person for their welfare or any harming to others. Then Kalam says that the greed does not come for the welfare, but if the greed arises, then there is a harming because whenever there is the lobe, there is the arising of antipathy and there is a you can say hatred among persons. So here it is said that a greedy individual overcome by greed kills living creature. So Buddha says, even Kalam says that if a person who is greedy and he is overpowered by the greed or love, he kills living creatures also. He steals, commits adultery. That there are three types of physical. That is the panatipata, adinnadana, kamesumikshachara. So these three physical actions are being performed by a person who is overpowered by lobha or greed, you can say. So is that for their lasting harm and suffering? So both puts a question that whether this greed is a cause of suffering. Then Kalam says that yes, they are causing their suffering. So what do you think? Again, Buddha says that, O Kalam, what do you think that this hate comes up in a person for their welfare and harm? So here first we have seen the lobha, and here again it comes the dosa. Dos means par vinasa chinta, a desire to harm others. So Buddha asked that whether dves in Sanskrit or dosa or antipathy or hatred come up in a person, whether it is related with the welfare of the beings or it creates problem or harming to others also. Then Kalam says that certainly it is harming to others also. Then Buddha says that a hateful individual who is overpowered by the dosa, that is the hatred, he kills living creature, panatipata, he steals that he takes the things which is not given to him, adinnadana, and he commits sexual misdeeds also. He is indulging in sexual misdeeds, that is the kamesu mikchachara. So these three things are also being performed by a person who is overpowered by those. So again, Buddha says that whether these are going to create any welfare for the human beings or harm, then Kalam says that it is going to harm to persons. Again, then comes lobha, dosa, moha, the third, you can say immoral hetu, that is the moha. What is the moha? Moha is covering the nature of the reality, that all things are subject to impermanence, all things are subject to suffering, and all dhammas are subject to soulless. So this is the, you can say, moha. So if a person who is overpowered by the moha, that is the, you can say, dhamma sabhav patichadana lakana, that moha has the characteristics to cover the nature of the reality. And if a person who is overpowered by the ignorance or moha, whether it is related with the welfare of the human beings or it is creating harm to others, then Buddha says that, now Kalam says that, yes, it is going to harm others also. Then again, Buddha says that, oh Kalam, what do you think that these are skillful or unskillful? Means whether they are wholesome or they are unwholesome, whether they are moral or immoral. Then Kalam says that certainly they are unwholesome or unskilled, that is the akusala, because this lobha dosa moha, moha is certainly one of the kinds of the akusala hetu. So they are unskillful. So whether the Buddha also says that whether it is blameworthy or blameless, then that it is blameworthy. It is not blameless. There is a, you can say, those also criticized by praised or criticized or praised by sensible person, whether this mohi is one a person who is overpowered by the ignorance, whether that person is criticized by other sensible person or not. Then Kalam says that it is criticized by sensible people. So when you undertake them, or do they lead to harm, suffering, or not? Or how do you see this? So then they say that when you undertake them, they lead to harm, suffering. That is how we see it. Then Kalam says that when we undertake this lobha, dosa, moha, they are going to harm and they are going to create suffering, dukkha. So that is which has been seen by every person. So Buddha again says that, O Kalam, when I told you that do not go by oral transmission, do not accept the things, whatever it has come from the mukh part, or do not go by any lineage or birth or the custom, do not go by any testament or the sacred teachings, or do not go by any canonical authority, do not rely on any logic or inference, do not go by any reasoned contemplation, or do not accept that any view after any consideration. So do not think the ascetic is our respected teacher. So Buddha says that what I have told you. So when you know for yourself, these things are skillful, unskillful, blameworthy, criticized by sensible persons or sensible person, or when you undertake them, they lead to harm or they are going to create suffering. So this is the, you can say, so you should give them up. That is what I said, and this is why I said it. So Buddha says that for that purpose, I have shown, I have told you earlier that do not accept the things, whatever it is coming from the lineage, oral traditions, regional logic, or any inference, or anything which is coming from the any sacred testament or the you can say authority. So Buddha again says that, O Kalam, again he repeats the same thing, that do not go by the oral transmission, do not go by the lineage. So this is the thing which has been said. So again, Buddha says that, O Kalam, does a containment come up in a person for their welfare or harm? So here, containment is called as santosa. Santosa means satisfactions. So in Samaya Sutta or in Abhatta Sutta also, in Buddha says that a bhikkhu who is covered with only uh, he covers his body only with the grass and leaves, he must be satisfied with that only. And whatever it comes for the pinda path, for the meal, he must be satisfied also. And in that Amata Sutta, it has been said that ghas chhadan paramatai bhikkhu santurthoti. And in Dhammapad also, Buddha says that a person must be satisfied with their no, you can say whatever for the our body it needs for the meal also and for the you can say body also. So for the sustaining of our body, whatever it is required, we must take only those things. And for the clothage, we have to accept the things only for what it comes to our, you can say, in our hand. So in Dhammapad also Buddha has discussed in a very detailed manner that a person must be contented or must be satisfied whatever it comes. So in again Kalam to the Kalam, Buddha also asked questions that whether this Santosam Param Sukham, it is also said as and even in seal, that is the morality or virtue. And we have seen that what is the seal? Seal or morality is the name of curtailment of the physical and vocal misdeeds. So here, curtailment of the physical and vocal misdeeds, a person must be satisfied with that also. So here also in Kalam is being asked by the Buddha that whether this santosa comes up in a person for their welfare or harm. So both puts a very tricky questions before the Kalam, and then Kalam says that this containment of Santosam Param Sukham, Nibbanam Param Sukham, and when he is praising the Nibban, and when he is discussing about the Nibban, Santosam Param Sukham, Nibbanam Param Sukham. So that is containment or the satisfaction leads towards the state of eternal bliss also. And this containment is also called as one of the seal also. So there are so many kinds of the seal. There are Silan Sila, Charit Varit Vasena Sealam, and there are Patimok Sambar Seal, Indriya Sambar Seal, Ajiva Parisuddhi Seal, and Pacha Sanistha Seal. And there is another seal which is also called as Santosa Seal. Santosa seal means that a bhikkhu or any person who is supposed to be contented with whatever it comes to him, whether it is related with the body, covering of the body, or related with the, you can say, pindapath, taking the meal for sustaining of their body. So, and for bhikkhu, Buddha also, what I have just now told, that Buddha says that ghas sadhan paramatay bhikkhu santupto. That a bhikkhu is being satisfied only covering the body by the grass and the leaves. Ghas sadhan paramatay. That a bhikkhu must be satisfied only by covering the grass and the leaves also. So here Kalam also answers that certainly this containment is going to lead the welfare to the human beings, not any, you can say, harm or suffering also. Again, Buddha puts a question that an individual who is content or satisfied, not overcome by the greed, does not kill any living creature, does not steal anything which has not been given to you, and he does not indulge in sexual misdeeds, or he does not any commit sexual misconduct or misdeeds. He does not tell lie, he does not encourage others to do the same things. So, is that for their lasting welfare or happiness? Buddha puts a question that whether containment is going to last for the welfare or happiness, then Kalam says that it is certainly going to last for the welfare and happiness. So again, Buddha puts another question to him, that to the Kalam, that oh Kalam, what do you think that when love comes up in a person for their welfare or harm? So love is here in the case of just opposite of those. दोषोति पर विनाश चिंता दोष जस अदोषोति मित्ताति पर हित कामता, that a desire for helping others. So this is called as mitta. Mitta ti mijjati iti senaheti iti mitta. That mitta is that which creates loving kindness towards all the human beings. So mijjati, that which creates the vibration of the sneha among the others, this is called as, you can say, see. So whether this is loving kindness, and even in Sutta Nipat, there is a Metta Sutta in the Urag Bag, and in Urag Bag, Buddha has given that what are the qualities of the myth and how myth or loving kindness can be practiced by the human beings. And he says that as a mother protects her baby at the cost of his or her own life, in the same way a person must cultivate loving kindness towards all the human beings, irrespective of any caste, color, or creed. So loving kindness is the it is unlimited in the practice of loving kindness is unlimited. That is why it is called as apamaya, or it comes under the Brahma Vihar. There are four, you can say, pillars of the Brahma Vihar, a noble way of living, that is the Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. So Metta is called as the first one. And again, Metta, for Metta, it has been said that whether you are in standing, walking, moving, lying, sleeping, there must be cultivation or practice of the loving kindness towards all the human beings. So here there is a concept that one who is associated with the loving kindness, whether it is going to create any harm or welfare, then Kalam says that it is going to create welfare among the human beings, those who are associated with the loving kindness, that is the metta. Again, Buddha puts a question that what do you think, O Kalam, that whether these are wholesome or unwholesome, or skilled or unskilled, or in another way, whether they are moral or immoral, in the Pali sense, that whether they are moral, that is the kusala or akusala. So that is the question which has been put by Buddha to the Kalam. Then Kalam said that certainly it is going to put moral. It is they are going to give the moral dhammas, and whether it is blameworthy or blameless, certainly it is blameless. It does not have any, you can say, immoral hetu. It is moral hetu, that is the metta, that is the adosu. So whether it is criticized or praised by sensible persons, so it is praised by the sensible persons. So again, Buddha asked that whether you undertake this adosu, that is the metta, do they lead to welfare and happiness towards all the human beings or not? How do you see this? Then Kalam says that when you undertake them, they lead towards the welfare and happiness towards all the human beings. That is what we are observing every time. So again, Buddha puts another questions that, oh Kalam, when I said that please do not go by the oral transmission, do not accept the things whatever it is coming to the lineage, do not accept the things whatever it has been said from the logic or reasoning, whatever you do not accept the things whatever it is you can say reasoning contemplation, and do not accept the things whether it is coming from the testament, whether the things which has been told you. So these are the, again Buddha repeats the questions that whether these things are and do not accept that this is this ascetic is your respected teachers. So when you know for yourselves, so whether these things are skillful, blameless, or praised by sensible people or not. So when you undertake them, they lead towards the welfare and happiness. So Kalam says that certainly these are going to the things, these things, that is the alobha, adosa, amoha, they are going to create welfare and happiness among the society. So again, Buddha says that that whether the noble disciple which is rid of the desire and rid of ill will, unconfused, aware, and mindful. They meditate spreading a heartful love to one direction and to the second and to the third and to the fourth. In the same way, above, below, across, everywhere, all around, they spread a heart full of love to the whole world. So these are the things which has been said by. So again, Buddha says that they meditate spreading a heart full of compassion to one directions and to the second and to the third and to the fourth. So Buddha says that these skillful or blameless or praiseworthy things, they when the people are going to meditate, they are spreading a heart full of compassion, that is the karuna. When these are associated with alobha, dosa, and amoha, that non-greediness, friendliness, and the right understanding or the views, they are going to spread in all the four directions. Uh, so this is the things which have been told by the Buddha. Again, Buddha says that if they meditate, spreading a heart full of rejoicing to one direction, to the second direction, and the third directions, and the four directions, they everywhere, full of rejoicing to the world, abundant, expansing, limitless, and enmity and ill will. So these are the things which have been told by the Buddha. So again, this is a mm, uh, in the text that it has been said that when noble disciple has a mind that is free of enmity and ill will, uncorrupted and purified, they have own four consolations in the present life. If it turns out there is another world and good and bad deeds have a result, then when the body breaks up after death, I shall be reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm. This is the first consolation they have owned. So this is the Buddha has been said, and still in the end, so Buddha says that for even again in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Buddha has talked about Sata Aparihaniya Dhamma. Sata Aparihaniya Dhamma, that they are seven types of beneficent rules which Bhajiyans are following. And out of the Sata Aparihaniya Dhamma, Buddha says that one has to respect the elders, one has to respect the elderly persons, one has to assemble in the fortnightly or in a monthly in a assembly hall, and they can remove their any doubt or any, you can say, misunderstanding, they can make it clear. So again, they have to respect the women also. And the fifth is called as that everyone has to respect the chaityas, temple, and other religions and beliefs, customs also. And if a person of another country who wishes to come to another territory of a state, he must be allowed to come in. And if he has come inside in the territory of any state, the king must protect his identity and his security also. So he must be protected by the king or the state also. So these there are seven types of non-maleficent rules which were given by the Buddha to the king of Vaisali, Bajiyans, to the people of the Bajiyans. And Buddha says that if these rules are being followed by the Vachians, no, he cannot be overpowered by another state. It means that Vachians cannot be defeated by other country or other state if they are following these seven maleficent rules. And here Buddha also talks about freedom of expression of thought also. And even in our Constitution of India, we see that how in our Constitution of India, the 19th article talks about the freedom of expression of thought also. Everyone has a right to express his own ideas irrespective of any caste, color, creed, and religion. So this has been taken from the teachings of the Buddha in our constitution also. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has taken this freedom of expression of thought from the teachings of the Buddha, and he has included in our this Constitution of India. And even if you go through the preamble of India, that which talks about that we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into secular democratic republic to secure justice, liberty, fraternity to all of the people. This is the preamble of our constitution, and this has been also taken from our teachings of the Buddha also. So this freedom of expression of thought, Buddha has always talked about the that all people are equal, no one is inferior, no one is superior by caste or religion. Everyone is, you can say, equal. So, whosoever thinks that he is inferior or superior by lineage or by custom or by, you can say, birth, it is he is associated with false views, papakam dittigatam. So that has been said. So here in the Kalam Sutta or Kesmutti Sutta, these two names are given, and here Buddha has clearly talks about that do not accept the things which comes from the lineage, which comes from the traditions, which comes from the religion, from the teachers, or from the reasoning, contemplated reasoning, something like that, whatever we have discussed just now. So Buddha says that there is no any teacher after my Mahaparinibbana. Your Vinay and Sutta will be the teachers. And you, if you find that these are available in the Sutta and Vinay, you can accept these things. Otherwise, you do not accept it. And Buddha was a very scientific teacher also. He had always talked about that investigate the things properly, and if it comes in the Sutta or Vinay, then you accept it, otherwise you can reject it. So this reasoning and the logic method, which was adopted by the Buddha as a scientific method of his teachings, that was also carried over by the Nalanda teachers also in Nalanda University, and from in Nalanda Mahavihar, ancient Nalanda Mahavihar, from Nalanda Mihar, the successive teachers went to the Tibet also, and they also put our this reasoning and the logic teachings of the teachings of the Buddha, which were based upon the reasoning and the logic. And Buddha, sorry, Dalai Lama also says that whatever the Buddhism which has been introduced in Tibet by our Nalanda teachers in a successive manner, they are called as Nalanda tradition of Buddhism, and that is based upon the logic and reasoning. And that is logic and reasoning is nothing but in to make the investigation of the teachings of the Buddha. Do not accept the things, whatever it comes from the tradition or lineage or from any testament or the sacred canonical teachings, but you accept the things by investigating it. So this is the essence of our today's talk on the teachings of the, you can say, Kalam Sutta. So if you have any question, we can discuss within 5 minutes. Otherwise, you can move to the next class. Any question do you have? Sayuri? Mamoru, you have any question?
No, I don't have any question. Thank you,
So
Professor.
you have reading material, what I have sent, you have got
yes.
it?
Yes.
Yes. So you can go through it. If you have any question, then we can discuss in the next question. Only thing is that you have to discuss that how Buddha talks about freedom of expression of thought. Okay. And related with the freedom of expression of thought, he talks about that do not accept the things, whatever it comes from the custom, lineage, birth, traditions, testament, canonical teachings, and whether he is your respected teachers, you do not accept the things. You have to make an investigation whether it comes under the purview of the Sutta or Vinay, then it is proper teachings of the Buddha. So that is the main, you can say, essence of the teachings. Rahul, any question you have?
No, sir.
Okay. So let us meet together in the next week. Okay. So Kiko, do you have any question, Hiroki?
Thank you, Professor. No question. Thank you very much.
Okay. So see you again in the next class. We will be together. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.